Breakfast and brilliant ideas, coffee and conversation, we're serving up that and much more at IBJ Media's events. Join us at an upcoming event and kickstart your day with fresh ideas and new connections. Check out our event lineup and register now at ibj.com/RSVP.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. Plans have been unveiled for the Heartland Industrial Park, a 1,000-plus acre light industrial campus in Sullivan County designed to attract tenants in light manufacturing, data centers, logistics, and advanced technology. County Commissioner Robert Davis says the project, which developers estimate will come with $65 billion in private investment, could strengthen the county's financial position.
We'll have some more money in our bank account. We'll be able to possibly make some investments that we can get a return on, so that we don't have to dive into all of our capital funds maybe. And it'll allow us to have some for capital projects too.
A groundbreaking for the industrial park is expected in the next few weeks. Denmark-based pharmaceutical company Novo Nordisk has announced plans to cut 400 jobs at its Catalent, Indiana plant in Bloomington. In a statement, the drug maker called the move a difficult decision but did not provide a reason for the cuts, which are slated to begin in early May. The company said it will continue to employ about 1,400 people in Bloomington following the layoffs. The National Credit Union Administration has made a ruling against former Richmond City Employees Federal Credit Union CEO Daniel Johnson, permanently prohibiting him from participating in the affairs of any federally insured depository institution. The ruling comes nearly 3 months after Johnson was sentenced to 2 years in prison after pleading guilty to 2 counts of bank fraud. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
The Steuben County Economic Development Corporation has released the results of a feasibility study it commissioned that shows the potential economic impact a new casino would bring to the county.
Steuben County is one of 3 in northeast Indiana that are in the running for a new casino, thanks to legislation passed this year by the Indiana General Assembly. The feasibility study, conducted by Philadelphia-based hospitality and leisure consultant A.M. Steinberg Advisors, suggests that a casino could generate approximately $200 million in gross gaming revenue annually. The study based its findings on the assumption that the casino project has a minimum private capital investment of $500 million, a requirement set forth by House Enrolled Act 1038 that was signed by Indiana Governor Mike Braun earlier this month. The study also indicated a majority of the gaming revenue, 62%, would come from visitors outside of Indiana due to Steuben County's proximity to Michigan and Ohio. Under Indiana's graduated wagering tax structure and supplemental wagering tax, the study estimates the development could generate between $56 million and $66 million annually in state gaming tax revenue. For Steuben County, approximately $15 million to $18 million in direct gaming tax distributions would go to county or local governments. Additionally, the study found that a casino could support between 800 and 12,000 direct full-time jobs. House Enrolled Act 1038 also gives Allen and DeKalb counties the opportunity to pursue a casino license. Abriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Eli Lilly and Company announced today that it will spend up to $7.8 billion to acquire a United Kingdom-based pharmaceutical company focused on developing treatments for narcolepsy as the drug maker continues to look to diversify its portfolio beyond weight loss treatments. Centessa Pharmaceuticals is developing treatments to address daytime sleepiness and other neurological conditions. The company's lead drug candidate is currently in mid-stage clinical testing for narcolepsy and other types of excessive daytime sleepiness. The football team at Arsenal Tech High School in Indianapolis finished the 2023 season with 0 wins, but the team rallied the past 2 seasons with winning records in conference play. According to the team's head coach, the major turnaround wasn't the result of the student-athletes' physical game, but rather their mental game. Dr. Elaine Gilbert with Riley Children's Health is leading a pilot program at the school called Mental Resiliency Training that teaches players how to cope with the stress and setbacks that inevitably come with playing sports.
I think that this is an underserved population in terms of mental health, and recognizing that we devote a lot of resources to their physical health, but recognizing the need to support them from a mental health capacity in both skill set and learning.
Officials hope to expand the program to all Indianapolis public schools as well as districts throughout the state. Marion County Public Health Department Director Dr. Virginia Kane is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Whether it's healthcare innovation, major infrastructure, or global sports impact, Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick tells the stories of Indiana's groundbreakers and game changers. It's the must-listen show for business, civic, and community leaders across the state. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.